Hello, welcome back. Today, um, I took down the farming station, or I guess the farmer that was over here because um, uh, it kept replanting the wrong crops in the wrong rows. So I figured over here it would be still a manual farm, but over here, we got, yeah, so I moved the farmer over here. Um, yeah, oh, I got a wolf. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I brought the farm over here. I actually have this, it's kind of turned off right now. Um, yeah, there's still power in it, but it's full. And, this is full, so it was just spitting things out anyways. So I moved the torch up here to, yeah, so. Um, but, I mean, we've got a bunch of crystallized fluid. This is full of refined oil. So, yeah, we just need to make a better spot to store large amounts of oil, and then maybe get some more generators or whatever, to get into more power generation. But first, yeah, I was using a lot of cobble, but did some other things off camera. Wanted to talk to you about. Well, I got a wolf. That was from. I got the. I don't know if you guys saw or not, but there's that. I don't even know where I put it. Is it in here? No. Somewhere there is. Right here. The summoning pendulum. I I put 2 cows, 2 pigs, and a sheep in there. So I figured that the cows and the pigs I can use to build up the population again if I need to, because yeah, wanted to see if I could get some different chickens. I got that one over there. He's laying a bunch of eggs. I could throw eggs down and see how many chickens I get from it, but yeah. But yeah, the dog. So I went back there once, and I could hear the dog, and there, of course, there was no sheep around because it was not tamed. So I grabbed some bones and I tamed him. So now I have this little dog that wants to follow me around. But I've got something important to tell you. Look over there. I did some more factory tech stuff. So, if you recall, I was debating whether or not to do some off-camera work and to get, just to get through some stuff. Well, I did. It took probably more time than it should have, but it took hours to get through all I did. So let me show you what I did. So I moved my little. We only had one of these, but I moved a couple things around. So the crucible is over here, and then this agitator was over there too. So if you remember, the last thing with the factory tech we did was we built an agitator and we plopped it down over here. So I needed to move it because you kind of need to put the inputs from the sides. Maybe not as crucial, but I didn't want it over there because I knew after watching other people's videos and how it worked and stuff that it's going to take up quite a bit of room, and you need 2 of them for 2 different functions and so forth. So what this one is doing, yeah. So what this one is doing is taking liquid sulfur and water and mixing it together to make sulfuric acid. So that is what is going in here. And looks like I got sulfuric acid in both of them because of reasons. Anyway, so that was broken right now. It won't work. But so So yeah, so in order to get the sulfur, you need to use one of these extraction drills, and it depends on which chunk it's in, is what fluid and how much it's getting. There's two different types of fluid. You can get the sulfur, or you can get propane. So I had it over here first. It was, I think, right in this area here, and it was getting sulfur as well, but it was not as much. It was like 70, I think, 70 millibuckets per operation. So it wasn't as much as it was over there. And I can show you, there's over here. Yeah. So if you come over here, I think this one has the propane. Yeah, this one's got a fair amount of propane. This chunk behind me has some propane, but not as much. Yeah, only a 23. So, and then this chunk over here, if you recall, I said has the sulfur. Yeah, 70 millibuckets for sulfur. So basically what I did, since sulfur was what I was after, I figured, well, I got lucky that it's in this chunk, but then this chunk right over here, as you see, is a lot more. So that's what I'm doing. And so these are just tanks. They can hold 24 buckets, I think. Yeah, it's empty right now, but yeah. And so this was, I just used water, and so this is a an easy way of getting the water in there. Yeah, 24 buckets. So this will make the sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid that gets pumped over to here and over to here. Now, I don't know exactly what I need to do to take this out. If it's just, yeah, because this should be in here. You put glowstone, and it creates this one, the liquefied glowstone. And then if the sulfuric acid and the liquefied glowstone plus this monster dust turns into the energite, and that's what I need over here for this. And the energite is used in that, and then so later on. But first off, there's this monster dust. How do you get monster dust? Well, if you look at the recipe for monster dust, it says you get it from the mob disassembler killing monsters. So I created the mob disassembler. It's this guy. It takes saw blades and chips and stuff. So right now I have it down at the mob farm. Let me hop down there and show you. So I have it down here. It's run out of parts, but man, that's loud. So, okay, yeah, I'll go back up. But, so, now it's a bit quieter. So the mob farm, you need to get the monster dust. So I had that running for a while, and collected some of the monster dust. And can't remember what else. There's some other little quality of life improvements I made around with different things that I don't know if I've showed you them all yet. But if there's anything that you see you don't remember me, showing it on camera, so I moved that over here, the sluice box over here, and a little thing over here. The cauldron I put right next to the water over there just to make it easier for the washing. Yeah. So the monster dust in this is this energite. This is used to get these. So if you remember, you put that on. What we're looking at here, we wanted to get into these ones. So we need these machine upgrade overclock. and tempered parts plus these energy core. This energy core is what all this setup is for. This energite you need to put inside these prepared shells. Yeah, and then that creates this unprimed energy core. You need to take one of these and charge it with a little bit of in here. So you throw them in here and it will charge them up. Now it says that 80% charge is the most efficient. So I tried to just kind of eyeball it. There's no way to tell exactly what it is, but just kind of eyeball it. So when that's charged up, you bring it over here, throw it in the stabilization chamber or table, and it stabilizes it to create one of these energy cores. So we needed 8 of those, and then we also needed the tempered parts. Well, in these, yeah, this setup here, basically what this does is it uses these stationary magnets around, 2 blocks space between them and all 4 cardinal directions. And you put an alternating redstone current into them and it will, create some numbers. I can turn it on. It should be fairly safe for now. So these numbers are flashing around and you see they gradually get higher. The higher they go, the more powerful they are. And then you put your core in and it will stabilize it. Once it gets up to the 500, then it pops into the energy core. So let me shut that off because this can explode if given unbalanced circumstances. So yeah, so that was used to make the energy cores, and the tempering is this tempering oven. So you temper these focusing lenses. You just throw some glass through the grindstone to get those, and then more of these circuit boards. And you notice these are the gold ones. It's because if you put the glowing gold dust on it rather than the red copper dust, then the parts, they're like the higher quality parts, and so they last longer. And this one right here, this cord charger, he spits out parts like nobody's business. Like you put the one charge in, and I had to pretty much get 4 extra parts in the buffer here every time I went to charge a new core. And you can see it just eats through batteries because there's none left. But and the battery you need to put in the sulfuric acid as well. So over here, these are just the dead batteries and some blank panels or plates. So yeah, I don't know what. Oh, yeah, this temperer. There's certain recipes. So if you look at these, say the tempered saw blade, it says 73 ticks. So it needs to be in the tempering oven for 73 ticks to do that. But if you just plop it in, it will get overdone. And so you need a redstone pulse that lasts for 73 ticks in order for it to work right. Now there is a bit of a leeway, but I basically said, you know what, I can dial this in exactly, and this 89, that's for the drill bits here. So I can dial this in to exactly the length I want, and stick a torch there, and it will, depower the torch for the little bit every time this ticks, and yeah, do my counting that way. So that's how I got all those. So if you look in here, this is all the things needed for this one, and this one I've got all the things I needed over here. Now this wasn't too bad. Just get a bunch of quartz and then run it through your saw. It was the gold. You needed 4 stacks of these, gold powders or dust or whatever. So yeah, the dust or these pulverized gold. So running gold through here, that's why I was using all these tempered drill bits. So that took forever long to finish getting all the dust. And yeah, I had to run over here and do some more glowstone, make some more alchemical ore dust, run it through here. And you see, I've only got a quarter stack of that left. But yeah, so that being said, and without further ado, as they would say, I would like to get all these so we can, oh, not that one, this one. You can turn those in, unlock the next bit. Oh, very nice. We can actually do Tinker Smeltery soon. Alright, well, let's do this one as well. So, let's craft these. It's weird how it lags like that sometimes. I don't know exactly what's causing that, but you shift click and it clicks the first one and then it lags before it gets the next one over there. And submit those. There, and that pops us into the bees. Okay. So, yeah, let's look at what is here in the forestry. Okay, so just your basic forestry type things. Yeah, just the basic machines, carpenter, I don't know what that is, squeezer. Yeah, I don't know what this one is, moisturizer, engines, we need peat, centrifuge, fermenters. Okay, yeah. So, sturdy casing. All right. Heavy machinery. Yeah. This is what? This is some stuff that can do more, yeah, some more powerful machines and stuff. Need some RF. I assume we'll get into, yeah, diesel. Void samples. Yeah, diesel engines and stuff like that. Yeah, this has the windmills and the water mills for simple power generation. These garden cloches are super nice. It's a nice way to automate farming in one, well, it's not one block because it's like 2 or 3 blocks tall, but we could probably replace most of that automation with, you know, 1 or 2 garden cloches. So yeah. So if you want me to go further into detail on, you know, how this was set up, how I did this, a lot of it was, you know, the basic steps I kind of went over. Obviously the glowstone isn't running through into that agitator as we saw, but you know, the basic steps are all there. We've got different you know, lots of different things to do, but for the most part, it was just, oh, this is running out of this part, run back and create some more parts, and oh, this is running out of this part, run back and create some more parts. So a lot of it was just running back and forth, refilling the parts, and you know, creating an automated setup to do all that for you is totally doable. As we, you know, we kind of saw how the crafter works, and oh, there's this that I wanted to talk about. You know what? We looked at that crafter. See if I can find it. Yeah, this auto crafting unit. And then I was concerned that, well, I can't just put the sticks in there because piping sticks in, you're going to fill up the empty spots. Well, that's actually what these are for. It's a crafting slot blocker. So simple to craft. You put it in there, and it just plugs up a slot in the inventory. And so when it crafts the recipe, it'll ignore those as far as making the recipe, but it will hold up the spot so that you can't pipe, you know, things in to the wrong spots. So, yeah, they kind of thought of that already. So, yeah. So other than explaining this, some of the things I wanted to do today is kind of look into what we've done. Yeah, actually additions. We never did claim this. And then if you look in here, there's, you know, these that are, they're the ones that I ended up doing that are required to get past the block, the gates we were looking at. You know, we can claim all these as well. So looking at these other things, the propane furnace, that's a kind of like the electrical furnace, but uses the propane as the fuel. And then we saw the propane is something we can get with these fluid excavators. The Zap is a Tesla coil. I haven't played with that. I mean, I haven't made it yet either. According to the description, it will do damage to mobs nearby. This freezing mob, basically, you know, they don't move. This can create mobs, so you throw in like a rotten flesh and it'll create a zombie type of thing. This is how you can get ores from the void, and it looks like they come in these like different chunks. So we've got an ore chunk and a sparkling chunk, because you know, you click on it, what's the recipe for this, and it doesn't tell you, but it kind of seems like, okay, we get the chunk, we grind it down into this, and then we can, you know, turn that into either gold or copper, or separate some of the ferrous, which is the nickel, out. Turn that into the gravel, and as we saw, the gravel and the separator, let's see here, can turn into some more resources for us as well. All right, and then this is, it works just like a beacon in a way, but the effects it gives you are random. I don't know if that would be useful or not, depending on exactly what effects it gave you and stuff. The videos I've seen where they mentioned it, I haven't ever seen a video of it actually working, but where they mentioned it, it says it's random durations for random effects, and it's just really not useful, because like you're just walking along, then all of a sudden you have speed, and then you have regen, and now you have, you know, fire resistance, and you're like, well, what is the point of it if it's not predictable or not useful? And then the supercharger speeds up adjacent machines, it says. So I definitely plan on finishing this off, but probably not for a bit. So let's look into the heavy machinery to see if we can get a coke oven going. So we need yeah. So first thing we need to do is make a hammer and the wire cutters. So let's look up. Oh, let me put this away and get the other bits. All right, that goes in here. I don't remember getting this. Or no, I created it, I think. Because, yeah, I was looking at the elevators. That's right. Okay. Let's get some room here. Theater box. Oh, it's like popcorn in a candy bar with some 3D glasses. That's cute. Some reliquary mob charms, a water bucket that just spilled everywhere. Oh, don't touch my redstone. Let's see if I can just kill the source. Maybe stand away from the more runic dust. Gluttony charm. And a polisher. Diamond fishing rod. And that's all. So this gluttony charm, I'm not exactly sure. I think, you know, you throw it in here, and I think basically as you're eating, it's like it makes you eat faster in a way. So let's see if I can get some hunger. Running, jumping, falling down, using my feather. There we go. Oh yeah. So you don't have to hold the right click down. You just single click and it eats it. So yeah, can eat much faster. So that's kind of nice to have on. A bit of a time saver for that. So let's put these away. And one of those. And one of those. Hammer! Alright. So coke bricks. And then makes a coal coke. And then after that, the steel. Yeah, and so that's going to get us the coke furnace, and then the blast furnace. And looks like my cobble is full. Yeah, for some reason that bits in the front stays there. It goes away eventually, but I don't know an easy way to get rid of that. Oh, there it goes. Just letting it lag for a bit. Snowballs. Alright, coke brick. These ones. So it looks like we need a bunch of clay, some sandstone, and then 9 recipes of this. Yeah, that makes the 27 because the 3x3x3 multi-block. All right, so let me get some clay going. We only have 15 dirt. Not going to be enough. All right, so I should have enough for, oh, how does that go? Just looking at it. All right. There. All right. Well, that is going to be all the time I have. So next time we will set up the oven, get some coke going to get the, or the coal going to get the coal coke, and yeah, so hopefully next time we can get some coke done, and we can get some creosote and treated wood and all that sort of stuff for that. So thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Yeah, tell me if you want more of a recap on the factory tech than what we had. And I was rambling a bit, so I was cutting a lot of the stuff out. But I hope you enjoyed that little montage at the end with the little, couple second clips here and there of getting the clay for these coke bricks. But yeah, thanks for watching, and catch you later. Bye-bye.